This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Good evening. One person has died following a serious two-vehicle crash at Mornington this afternoon. The road remains closed to traffic tonight, with a crime scene established and investigations continuing. Our reporter Jacqueline Robson has the details.
Crash investigators are here on the scene at Mornington, where a two-vehicle crash has occurred just after 3 p.m. this afternoon. Witnesses say a white ute travelled through the roundabout before colliding with a hatchback.
A Commodore ute, come around the corner, the roundabout here, then just put his foot down, and next thing you know, all you hear was a big bang. And so we ran up the corner there, and next thing you see, two cars just out of it, like completely buggered up.
A number of emergency services were quick to arrive at the scene. Paramedics working to save the driver of the hatchback, but the person was pronounced dead soon after. Other occupants were treated by ambulance before being taken away for further examination. A crime scene has since been established, with police giving limited details on the victim as family members are informed. The road will remain closed for a number of hours as investigations continue.
The Tasmanian Health Service is set for a major overhaul following a damning report into the effectiveness of its governing body. The state government is vowing to scrap the layer of bureaucracy if re-elected, but the opposition says it's a matter of urgency.
It's an announcement medical bodies have been pushing for 12 months. The Health Minister today conceding the governing body of the Tasmanian Health Service is broken.
We don't think that we got the balance quite right, despite the positive gains. We want to improve that balance, value our local clinicians while protecting the One Health system.
It's off the back of a scathing report into the THS executive. A Deloitte investigation finding the governing body is currently not seen as being effective by medical staff, with a need to clarify roles to make clear exactly where accountability lies. The perceived lack of unity within the executive impacting the broader organisation, potentially undermining its effectiveness with a festering lack of trust.
People feeling disrespected, frustrated. So there's been a lot of suffering from staff and patients.
The Minister vowing to scrap the governing council and head of agency, moving back to a hospital management accountable to the Health Department while maintaining the overarching One Health system, a move that's riding off the back of a re-election to government.
To put it off until after the election is a complete abrogation of his responsibility.
The opposition is also promising to scale back the executive, but says the minister needs to act immediately.
If it requires an act of Parliament, recall the Parliament so that we can deal with this. The health crisis in Tasmania is serious enough for him to come out and say that he's going to sack people in the Governing Council.
Fears it's going to further erode a dysfunctional health system 3 months out from the election.
There still could be damage done. There's still the possibilities of bad decisions being made in the months ahead.
Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
The Greens are proposing stricter legislation around short-stay accommodation to help fix Tasmania's housing squeeze. It's estimated more than 6,000 properties have moved into the short-stay market since 2011, tightening rental availability. The Greens now pushing to ban interstate investors from converting long-term rentals.
Our plan would give them a year to divest, and that would release more homes into the market for Tasmanians. We are unashamedly prioritising the locals.
The Greens are challenging the two major parties to consider the proposal as part of a wider housing solution. Purple fever swept Blunston Arena today ahead of the Hurricanes' first home WBBL match of the season. Players from the men's squad spent time with the Canes faithful at the inaugural Fan Day as they prepare to open their BBL campaign against the Renegades on Thursday night.
It's really good. We enjoy coming out to these kids' functions and stuff, and the kids love it too. So yeah, it's something that we really enjoy doing.
We'll have all the highlights from the women's clash against the Sixers in sport a little later on. Thousands of voices will tonight rise up in song for the annual Launceston Carols by Candlelight. Organisers earlier today getting into the Christmas spirit as they prepared for the event, expected to be the biggest yet. Our reporter Rita Risk filed this report a short time ago.
A massive crowd of more than 6,000 people is expected here tonight for the 7 o'clock start. The 3-hour program promises to have something for everyone, with more than 18 sing-along carols, including some great favourites. People began filing through the gates shortly after 5 o'clock this afternoon for carols by candlelight.
We've got over 40 songs that are going to be performed, and it's going to be a wonderful night with 100 local performers taking to the stage.
Organisers spent the afternoon setting up for the traditional family event.
We're now just 1 week away from Christmas Eve. What better way to celebrate that than to come together and to help those doing it tough at Christmas time?
One of tonight's singers is excited to be back again, performing for the 3rd year in a row.
It's just that whole lot of community spirit, everybody getting here. It's just getting dark at around 9:15, which is when I'm on, getting the candles out, just having a really great celebration of not only Christmas and carols, but Launceston and the end of the year as well.
If you are planning on heading into this evening's festivities, don't forget to wear a Santa hat and bring your picnic blanket. The season of Christmas is well and truly upon us, and all proceeds will go towards supporting local charities.
The Christmas rush is well and truly upon us as more and more retailers put on big sales during the holiday season. Tasmanian retailers have welcomed the busy season with sales hitting the roof this time of the year.
Shoppers have been out in full force for one of the busiest weekends of the year. With just 1 week to go before Christmas, crowds flocked to centres across Tasmania today to take advantage of pre-Christmas sales.
Christmas has been really busy this year. We're predicting that next weekend will be quite busy as well, but sales have definitely improved throughout the Christmas period.
And you've left your Christmas shopping to last minute?
Yes, done none. This is the start.
With many stores marking down prices to boost sales, this week is also tipped to attract bumper shopper numbers.
I've just been into some of the shops, 50% off, 40 to 50% off, so it's been great. So I've got some really good bargains, so it's fantastic.
Everything's a lot cheaper than it normally is.
Definitely started picking up the closer we get to Christmas, especially opening on Sundays. You can't really predict it, but the town's definitely been busier than it has been previously, which is good.
Not only are stores showing higher figures, but cafes are also feeling the heat of the rush.
Yeah, it's really fantastic. It's picked up a lot in recent times. People getting out, catching up before Christmas time, friends and family, work gatherings, those sorts of things. So yeah, we're really busy and really happy.
Many shops across the state will open late throughout the week, including Maya. Rita Risk, Southern Cross News.
The Hobart Hurricanes remain winless this WBBL season after a horror batting collapse against the Sydney Sixers. The visitors setting the Canes a hefty run chase before tearing through the home side's order.
The always dangerous Elise Perry fired early for the Sixers. Alyssa Healy threatened to do the same before Caitlin Fryatt put an end to the partnership. Erin Burns lasting just 5 balls, with Veronica Pike claiming her first of the day, courtesy of Georgia Redmayne's quick hands. Hayley Matthews was the next to strike, ending Marizanne Kapp's day on 11. Sarah McGlashan providing some spark, notching up a quick-fire 44, before some risky running brought her unstuck. Perry bringing up her half-ton in style, but she didn't last much longer thanks to Matthews. The West Indian then producing a bit of brilliance on the very next ball, with the Canes left chasing 153 for the win. English international Lauren Winfield looked sharp early, but 13 runs was the most she could manage. Matthews made her presence felt on the first ball she faced before nicking one to the keeper. Redmayne eventually warming up as Veda Krishna Murphy tried her best to chip away at the total, but when both went in quick succession, things began to look out of reach. Skipper Corinne Hall was done for a duck on the very next ball, with Stephanie DeFara following suit as Stana Van Niekerk claimed her hat-trick. The collapse signalling the nail in the coffin for the Canes, falling 33 runs short for their 3rd loss in a row.
Tasmania's best horsemen and women have had their chance to show off their skills today, with Lauderdale Equestrian Club hosting the annual state Showjumping titles. Around 900 riders from across the state competed in more than 400 rounds of jumping over the weekend.
Being the state titles, it's more prestige than anything. I think they're sort of, if they can wear the badge rather than the prize money, I think that means a lot more to them.
This year saw a change in the course design, with Sydney Olympian Gavin Chester giving the young riders a taste of what it's like at the elite level.
If they want to go and tackle the big stuff on the mainland, they need to get used to that kind of thing. So it's been a great move on the club's part.
Riders will get a chance to test themselves against the country's best at the national titles next September.
Welcome back. Hobart reached 19 today. Launceston had the state's top with 25, with 21 in Burnie and also in Devonport. 25 for Cressy today, 24 at Ouse and also Scotts Peak. Bushy Park, Medina and Flinders Island all 23 degrees. Scottsdale hit 22, 21 the top for St Helens, Sheffield, Wynyard and Campania, with 19 degrees at Lyowini after a chilly start. Well, the charts show thunderstorm activity continuing over parts of WA, South Australia and the New South Wales coast. A cold front and low visible over parts of the coast off WA, with the remainder of Australia looking cloud-free. A closer look over the state shows low cloud around the north and the east coasts, with high-level cloud over the strait, with isolated low cloud in central parts. Tomorrow shows the cold front entering the Bight, with a low following closely behind. The high moves over Tasmania, with troughs present over parts of WA, the Tasman and Victoria. On the seas around Tasmania, variable winds 5 to 15 knots tomorrow, predominantly northeasterly and reaching 20 knots about the north. Seas between 1 and 2 metres, with northerly winds 5 to 15 knots for Central Lakes. Another hot day for most centres to kick off the working week. Sunny in the south, 23 in Hobart, Dover 21, 28 for Ouse, 28 also in Launceston, 21 for Devonport, Scottsdale 26 degrees with a few clouds about those parts. A few clouds in the northwest, Burnie 19, Stanley 20 with 26 and sunny conditions for Strawn, with some early drizzle in St Helens 22, 26 at Swansea and 29 the top for Ross. And the UV is still extreme for most centres. Well, Tuesday brings some cloud and some drizzle to the north and the eastern coast. Possible thunderstorms in the north and the west with a hot day in the south and the east. Showers about the west and the far south on Wednesday. Showers possible in the north, otherwise pretty fine. With a fine day on Thursday, just some showers there about the west and the far south. Well, really hot conditions expected for most centres tomorrow around Australia. 40 in Adelaide, 35 for Canberra, 33 with some cloud for Cairns and Melbourne, with Perth expecting a cooler day, 20 degrees and some showers, with 41 in Alice Springs. And currently it's a little bit cloudy in the south, 17 for Hobart, 21 and clear conditions in Launceston with 19 in Devonport. That's all for the weekend in Weather H.
Wonderful, thank you for that, Sam. And before we leave you tonight, more than a dozen volunteer Tasmanian firefighters have spent their afternoon spreading Christmas cheer in the form of old favourites to children, members of the Legana Fire Brigade taking the trucks for a spin laden with more than enough lollies for everyone.
We've got about 1,500 bags of lollies and we normally run out, so a lot of streets and a lot of kids.
Thanks to social media, the annual event, which started around 25 years ago with just a few volunteers, now includes the whole town.
Since Facebook come along, we put it on there and it's just grown and grown and grown.
And it's safe to say there were no lollies left. Looking forward to Christmas. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. I look forward to your company throughout the week. I'm Rachel Williams. Good night.